we are actually starting chapter 2, which is solving equations. So I have actually chose to put 2.1 and 2.2 together. All right, so solving equations. Now, there's a few steps we're going to talk about today that maybe you haven't heard it kind of said that way in the past. All right? Sure. So here are the steps I want to talk about today. And then as we go on, we're going to add a step every day until we get all of them there. Today, the first step I want to talk about is what I call clearing the fraction. Now, you have to remember that I know where your algebra skills are going in the future. So this is an important step for us to learn now so that when our equations get long equations the size of the page, we will make them easier as we go, okay? So this is an important step to learn now. Step number 2, I'd like you to move the variable to the left. So I'd like you to move the variable term to the left-hand side. And there's lots of different ways to do that. Step number 3. Today we are going to move the constant, or the number, to the right. And then step 4, and this is always the very final step, you're going to divide by the coefficient on the variable. About a week and a half. All right, so these are the 4 steps we're going to talk about today. But before we really get into those, I want to talk about some basic things of how we move. Make sure that we remember from last year, right, those one-step things and how things move to the other side. So I'm going to start here. If I have x minus 7 equals 2, I'm trying to get that variable all by itself. Now, I like to draw a line down. Kind of helps me remember what's going on. Yes.
I have a question. So let's say this problem. I know if you want, I could just add a 5 in front of it.
No.
Because technically, 5 minus 7 is not 2.
No, it's not. Good try, though, okay? All right, so let's continue. Let's continue. So in this case, I want to get rid of the minus 7. The opposite of subtracting 7 is what? Okay, so I'm going to add 7. Now, whatever I do to this side of that line I drew through the equals, I also have to do to that side. So I'm going to add 7 over here. On this side, I still have x. Negative 7 and positive 7, they cancel each other out. Equals is my line in the middle. And 2 plus 7 is 9. Very good. All right, what if I have y plus 6 equals negative 3? Again, I'm going to draw a line down just to help me remember what I'm doing. All right, so in order to get, yes, Joe, go ahead. Okay, what is the answer already? Perfect. Very good. Good job, Joe. So what Joe said was to get rid of this positive 6, I have to subtract 6. Whatever I do to this side of my equals or my line, I have to do to this side. So here we have y equals. And Joe said negative 3 plus negative 6 is negative 9. Very good. Okay. Continue. Here's my next one. Let's say I have 5x equals 30. Okay, 5 is multiplying x, so Keegan's right. We're going to divide by 5. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So our 5's cancel over here when we get x equals 6. All right. All right. So far I've added, subtracted, and I divided. So let's do one like this. What if I had k divided by 3 equals 7? Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. I want you to think of this step. There is a fraction there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to call it clearing the fraction. When we clear the fraction, we multiply everything by the denominator. Okay, so the denominator is 3. I'm going to put a little 3 because I'm going to times this side by 3, and I'm going to times this side by 3. On this side, the 3's cancel, right? They reduce, so I'm just left with k. On this side, I have 3 times 7, or 21. That is clearing the fraction. Okay? It's going to make your life easier if we get used to that process. All right? That's the whole idea, right? Okay. So those are all just one step. However, your homework today has more than one step. So let's get into some of those. All right, so here we go. Example number 1, I agree. So let's start off with, just give me a minute. Y over 5 plus 2 equals negative 3. All right, so in our steps, the first thing I said was clear the fraction. If there is a fraction anywhere in that problem, I want you to clear the fraction first. Okay? You got to trust me. So we're going to multiply every single thing by the denominator. So I'm going to put a little 5 next to every single term.
And the term's the number.
Okay. In this first one, my 5's cancel, right? So I just have y. Plus, here I have 5 times 2, which is 10, equals, and over here I have 5 times negative 3, negative 15. Now look at that problem I have. Without the fraction, does that look a lot easier? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and draw our line down since we got rid of the fraction. And my next step said to move the variable to the left. Is my variable on the left-hand side? Good. All right, my next thing said to move the number to the other side. Subtract 10 from both sides. Very good. I need to move that 10 from this side to the other side. So I have y equals negative 25. I agree. Okay? The whole idea of clearing the fraction makes, like, anytime there's any kind of fraction in it, it makes it like a million times easier. Okay? So just so you know, future reference, it's super, super easy. All right, let's go with example number 2. All right. So these examples I'm doing right now are going to cover 12 through 22. The first one is also part of that same section. Let's try one that looks like this. Let's say I have, how about 3x minus 6 equals 9. All right. Do I have a fraction anywhere? No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down. I like to have it there so we can talk. Next, is my variable on the left? Good. Is my number on the right? Is there any number on this side that I need to move to the right? How do I move that minus 6 to the other side? Add 6 to the other side. Because I'm trying to get this x term all by itself, right? So currently I have 3x. Negative 6 and positive 6, they cancel. Equals 9 plus 6 is? Good. And then our last step said divide by the coefficient on the variable. So we divide by 3. Whatever I do to this side, I have to do to that side. So x equals 5. Correct. Yes, we're going to do one more from that section before we go on. Yes, example 3. All right, how about I have negative 14 equals negative 5 plus 3c. I want to talk about an instance like this. First of all, clearing fractions. So I don't have to worry about clearing the fraction. Second thing I said was I want my variable term on the left. What are some options for us to get that 3c to this side? What can we do? Flip the whole problem around. Is that what you guys did last year? Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll flip the whole problem around. So then, Joel, how would I rewrite this?
So 3c minus 5 equals negative 14.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down since, yes, now my variable is on the left. Very good. All right. I need to move that number away from my 3c. How do I get rid of minus 5? Add 5. Whatever I do to this side, I have to do to that side. So I have 3c. Negative 5 and positive 5 cancel. Equals. Good. And, of course, what is our last step? Divide. And we're going to divide by the coefficient on c. So we divide by 3. Whatever I do to this side, I have to do to this side. C equals? Beautiful. All right, any questions so far? Pretty easy? Okay, example number 4. Number 24. Yep. All right, you have $20 and a coupon for $4 off. A bottle of High C. High C. Bottle of High C. I don't know. Cost $6. Inflation. How many can I buy? All right. So first we're going to set it up. All right? When we set it up, the first thing we want to talk is how much each bottle of High C costs. $6. But we don't know how many we can get, so we're going to say 6x, right? Or 6h for High C, whatever variable you want to use. Now, I have a discount. Minus, what's my discount coupon for? 4, right? So minus 4. And how much money do I have? $20. Okay. All right, so now we want to figure out how many bottles of High C I can buy. So we're going to solve this equation. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down. First of all, are there any fractions? Is my variable on the left? Okay, so now I got to move this negative 4 to the other side. How do I do that? Add 4. I'm going to add 4. If I add 4 to this side, I have to add 4. Good. So I have 6x equals 24. Good. Very good. Thank you, Seth. That's correct. We divide by the coefficient. Excellent vocabulary. I'm so proud of you. And we get x equals 4. So we can buy 4 bottles of High C. All right. So the one in your homework is similar to this, just so you know. So don't be afraid to refer back to your notes when you come across that word problem. All right. Example number 5. Holy moly, you're going to be fine, I promise. Yeah, so it's fine. You'll be all right. All right, next section, 26 through 30. So let's say I have 7 equals x minus 4 over 2. Okay, so first, I want to clear the fraction. Now, here's the one thing I want to point out. You'll notice on the top of that fraction, I have a group. When I have a group of something, what should I put around it to keep it together? So I'm going to put parentheses around that so I don't lose it. Now, I do have a fraction, so I want to clear the fraction. So what should I multiply both sides by? 2 is my denominator, right? So I'm going to put a 2 over here, and I'm going to put a 2 over here. On this side, I get 2 times 7 is 14. Equals. On this side, what happens with my 2's? They cancel, don't they? It gets rid of that fraction. So on this side, all I have left is x minus 4. All right. So we did clear the fraction. Step 2, we want that variable on the left, so we're going to flip it. All right. So I have x minus 4 equals 14, right? Okay. Now I need to get the x by itself. What do I do next? Good. Add 4 to both sides. Very good. So I get x equals, is x by itself? Good. All right, let's do one more like this very quickly. We'll even leave it underneath the same example just to make sure we're golden. All right. Let's say I have w minus 7 over 3 equals, Marley, give me a number. Any number in the world. 27. All right, 27 it is. Okay. What's the first thing I'm going to do? Group it together. Awesome. What's the next thing I'm going to do? Clear the fraction. I'm going to times both sides by 3. On the left, what happens to my 3's? Yes, they cancel. So on the left, I have w minus 7. On the right, I have 3 times 27. And now what do I do? Good. Add 7 to both sides. So I have w equals 88. I agree. Good. All right. All right, so here's the deal. You're doing your homework on page 91, numbers 12 through 30 even. I am still struggling. You've got to love when technology helps you out. I'm struggling to get it to load into Google Classroom, so you're going to have to use your book for now. Okay? The picture just it doesn't seem to want to load right now, so I apologize. I've been trying since like 7 o'clock this morning. So, all right, if you need to borrow a book, I have a couple of them up here, and we're going to go ahead and get started.